for me to say, hit the button.
Hitting the button. Hitting the button. I think we're live. You know what the best part of today's show is? Besides the fantastic topics, the best chat in the universe, and obviously the high-quality gameplay, this is probably not the greatest, is obviously the chat. And I already said that. So obviously the panel. And we have Colt Eastwood here today. We got a ton of really good topics. We've also got Pong Soul. We'll get into some intros. We'll get into some shout-outs. And I just want to thank everyone for joining us, guys. If you're here, hit the like button, share it out, tell a buddy or two about the show. It really helps more than you know. It's a good time to be a gamer. Colt Eastwood, another week, another show, man. Thanks for joining us. I called you last second because Tim Dog, somebody coughed on his head at E3, got sick, and he just told me right before the show. So I figured I would have you... come in and what, it couldn't be a better guest. Colt, how you been?
Good. Thinking about the corpse of Tim Dog for today. It's going to be interesting because today's been a lot of damage back and forth. We'll get into it today. But thanks for having me on.
Somebody coughed on Tim Dog's head while he was sleeping at E3. Hey, we've also got D Batch, brother. How you been?
I'm good, man. Like I was saying before the show starts, a little bit frustrated with the online play with WWE 2K, but apart from that, man, I'm excited to be on the show today and take a break from everything. So let's get it going.
You're jonesing for some 4K nipples, huh? Is that what's going on? Hey, we've also got Pong Soul. Thanks for filling in for Fonz, who obviously had surgery, but near last week. Turns out he had basically developed pneumonia because of the procedure, and he's taking antibiotics and trying to clear that stuff up. But he's alive and kicking. I told you he's too stubborn to die. He'll be back next week. We miss him, and obviously the best and best wishes to Fonzarelli. But Pong Soul's filling in for Fonzarelli, and welcome to the show, Pong.
Honored to be here as always, sir. Thank you for the invite. I'm glad I could keep Fonz's seat warm. And the good news is I hate gaming and games just like Fonz, so it won't be much different. So we're good.
Damn. Oh, shit. Zucker said they're taking a bath in the gameplay. I kind of count this as a bath. Flapjack juice. Flapjack juice. The gang's all here. Not quite Flapjack juice, but appreciate you, buddy. And then we've also got Zalker87, brother. How you been?
Doing good, man. Doing real good. I have no idea why you have Ghost Recon Breakpoint as gameplay. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm like thoroughly surprised. If you had to give me a game that you were going to put on here, this would be like not even on the list, not even last.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know.
Found it on an old thumb drive, like
he
underneath
did.
the shoe.
I found
he
it.
Like threw it in there. He's like, all right, let's go with this.
I found it on the ground. Yeah, this is me. This is me playing with. This is me playing with Ashley Games. Add her on Xbox and say hi, because that's weird. Obviously, this is Series X enhanced, right? So
it doesn't look bad at all. It's just
looks good.
Say.
Yeah, it looks even better without the 1080p streaming. But hey, you know what looks even better than this is our patron shout out list of names from the guys in the tier on Patreon that support the channel and the show every single month. I gotta give them a big shout out. We got Dub Mobile, Ruben Almighty, we got Dave Incubus, Ricky Fallon, Fault Lines, Not Silik, Bad Boy Live, Achievement, Nano Polymath, big shout out to him, Zoradin, Costanza, KY Bob, Goose 8402, Straw Khalifa, Assassin Loop Before an Object, Gab Queeztail, John Blue. Hit me, John Blue, did you die, sir? Are you on Xbox ever? Hit me up, man. I ain't heard from you but once. I thought he was British. I found out he was Canadian. I was shocked. Shout out to John Blue, Vec Boss, Real Deal Neil, Suicide King, Texas Genie, not much. Texas Genie, Michael Bowen, Grimmer Cuvillo, All Might, Dark CMF, and Alfonso Hogan. Shout out to all you guys. That list from news at the beginning of every single month. Now, you know what else does? You know what doesn't renew though? Faith in a studio.
Damn, that was a good segue, boy.
Look. I do all this off the top of my head, except for some bullet points here. Perfect Dark. We all know that Initiative was tasked with building out Perfect Dark, and we've had our concerns, but like everything they're doing right now, we're like, hey, let's chill out, wait and see what they're doing, and hopefully it's magical. It's super magical. Well, Perfect Dark is essentially losing a ton of talent there at Initiative because when they brought in Crystal Dynamics, a lot of those guys, you had a lot of very, very creative people from Sony, right? Like the producer of God of War 2018, guys that worked on Uncharted, a bunch of really, really talented people. And you forced them to basically get a lot of their ideas ignored and a lot of their pull ignored because you've got a big team like Crystal Dynamics coming in and working on the project. And I think over half of their initial staff at this point. That 70-man team that was built from the ground up to build the game out and kind of continue to create the game has left. And it's not because they no longer need to be creative or no longer need those people. It's because, like Drew Murray, the guy that was basically helping lead the project, they just... Colt Eastwood, what is going on with this? And what the fuck is going on with this?
Well, let me say something about Drew. Like, you and I have talked about Drew Murray a lot, and he comes from Insomniac and PlayStation. And I feel like Drew chased this dream of, hey, he'll be way up in the upper echelons of a team. He'll get the big new Xbox money. And he did that for like 2 years, and then he was like, I just want to go back to PlayStation, and I want to do what I do best, is making quirky, fun, great games for Insomniac.
He literally ran back to Insomniac, right where he came from.
Immediately, like it was the plan all along. And
wasn't it like 4 days later? Like he was like, I have family issues. Then 4 days later, I'm back here. It's like, what?
Yeah. And I don't want to get too far into this because we've got a lot to talk about. But yeah, you got Drew Murray, who bounced and didn't really seem to want to be there much longer. And now it's looking like a lot of the staff that even came from PlayStation and other big studios are kind of feeling the same way. Yeah, okay, we got this far in the project, and I think it's a hotbed right now. If you want a job, if people are out scouting for jobs or scouting to get people, it's a hotbed, and they're asking a lot of money.
Yeah, and the big thing is, like, I understand the Drew Murray one, but for me, one of the bigger ones is Dan Newberger. He was literally the game director, basically like second in command to Daryl Gallagher and that whole studio, and he's gone. This isn't something that people like I was talking about this, like, obviously we talk in parties all the time, me, Colt, everybody, right? We just talk about this stuff because, that's what we do. We love talking about this stuff. But what I was saying is, I feel like they did hire a bunch of people that have a lot of creative freedom, that know what they want and are vocal about it, right? Like that's what they did in Sony. That's what they did wherever they were. Even the Red Dead Redemption senior programmer, right? Like a lot of the people they got were high level and know what they want to do. But Daryl Gallagher, from what the reports is kind of a person that has a vision, knows what he wants to do with his game, and needs a studio to execute that. And these people that they hired might not have been a cultural fit. And that was explained also in the thing, that it just wasn't cultural. They didn't create a culture there. They weren't able to create a culture.
And that was explained, right? That was actually
and that was explained. And that's exactly, and then the whole point of Crystal Dynamics, because a lot of this exodus happened after September, right? Where they, Crystal Dynamics is coming on, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people left right after that. In the last 12 months, they've hired 12 people and have lost over half of their studio.
Wow. So
it's like, what is going on there? The point that's going on is that Daryl Gallagher understands what Crystal Dynamics is. He's had visions with Tomb Raider, and they know how to build his vision. So he knows how to work with them. They have a culture that he understands. So to me, this is a little bit of Daryl Gallagher kind of not being able to adapt and knowing how to work one way, and needing to go back and get a studio that can work with him instead of working with all these people that have crazy talent, but just maybe not able to just work with somebody that wants what they want.
I want to get opinions from D and Ponxo, but I got to mention the fact that I threw up a poll in the chat. Are you worried about Perfect Dark's development? Let us know. Now, we're not necessarily worried or not worried. We are basically telling you what's happened, what we know, and kind of some mild concerns, but it's nowhere near any kind of doom and gloom bullshit that a lot of people are going to push because it is. But it is something that you have to perk your ears to. It is something very interesting, and these are not just things that are being made up. These are, they are struggling to create a culture there. They formed that studio at almost the worst time, right, when a pandemic hit.
2 years before a pandemic hit,
right? and you're trying to build out and do all these things, and now things are kind of returning to normalcy, and now we get some information like this, and it's just, I don't know, man. Chat, that's why I put up the poll. I want your thoughts. You're one of the greatest resources around. So I wanted you guys to let me know if you're worried about Perfect Dark's development or not. D-Batch, what is your thoughts on this?
It's really simple. They were spies. They were spies. They came in.
Oh my God.
They go back to Jim Ryan. There's balloons in the game.
He goes back to Jim Ryan. We're not going to be existing in 10 years, but they fucking suck, Jim. God damn it.
They're spies.
I think it was a case of from the information that we have, it looks like a case of too many cooks in the kitchen, man. I think there was probably some creative differences, and I think maybe the writing was on the wall. That's why they brought in Crystal Dynamics, and I think probably when they came in, it just cemented that. It, it could be a case where they have a lot of ideas and ideas aren't meshing, and the direction is straying from what Gallagher wants. I'm not behind there, so I can't actually physically see what's going on, but based on the information, it seems to be a case of that. And culturally, I would expect Microsoft to be completely different than how Sony studios are run and operated, and the culture that they have over there. So it could be a case of, feeling homesick, could be a case of, not having the full creative freedom that they want, and it just didn't work out. These things happen. It's just unfortunate for such a big
They're
new
not going to
studio
get credit.
initiative.
They're not going to get credit. Like, that's what I think it is. This is all about perception for these people. These people are. This isn't like, an art guy that made a wall and a map. No, these are.
That's a
these
nice
are like
wall,
the people.
boy.
No, that's a nice wall, bruh. And like, no, I'm saying like it's. These are like the core gameplay loop developing people. These are almost can be as high as the people directing God of War and stuff like that. Like, these are high level people leaving, and it's. If they think Crystal Dynamics is going to get the credit for most of what's happening, yeah, it's about perception, because maybe they want to run their own studio one day. And being a game director on something that you need another studio to come in isn't a good thing, isn't a good take.
I'm a real
So
boy.
I do think like that's just to me, and it was always, the hires were always kind of weird, right? Because we always thought it was going to be third person, because everybody they hired got award combat director. It's like, yeah, third person combat director, one of the best combats that we've ever had. Like all these, like Red Dead Redemption and all, it was always third person, and then next thing we know, it's a first person shooter.
Look, I was
And
a
it's
little
like,
concerned when we saw Drew Murray being like, my daughter couldn't sleep, so I got her out of her crib and let her play our new game. I was like, okay, is this a game I'm going to be into? But Pong, so I want to know what your thoughts are on this and what your takeaway is from this. And again, chat, we've got a ton of really good topics, and I think some really good topics, actually. We figured this would be an icebreaker. Maybe not the best one, but it is interesting. Hit the like button, tell everybody about the show. Pong, so what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is the initiative was great on paper, right? This is like putting a dream team together in sports, right? You bring in all these big talents, all these big brain people, and you think you're just gonna, put them all in one room and they're gonna brainstorm and they come up with the greatest idea ever, right? We heard quadruple A studio thrown around a lot, right? And all that kind of garbage and that nonsense. But what looks good on paper isn't always great in practice. And when you start getting down to actually building this game out, I think maybe there was a lot of people who kind of looked at the dream they were sold when they got there and figured out that it wasn't actually going to be that dream scenario.
Hey, Pong, do me a favor real quick while you're giving your speech here, right? Check in your settings and make sure you don't have echo cancellation and noise reduction on the software, because it's muffling you, and I think it's trying to cut you off like a noise gate almost.
I think I checked all those, but I'll do it again, sir. Thank you for letting me know.
So much better. Holy crap.
Is that so much better? Okay.
Yeah.
So what the deal is I think that once it really got down to business, and I think Daryl Gallagher had to look at the situation and say, hey, look, this is great. We probably got a lot of people bringing a lot of great ideas to this game, but at the same time, at some point, we got to move forward. We got to build this thing out. We're going to bring in Crystal Dynamics, and he kind of fell back into what he knows as a leadership role. And anybody who's worked for companies and worked for multiple bosses know that not every voice works for you. Not every kind of way of doing things is the right fit. You're trying to build a studio from the ground up. This is why Xbox and Microsoft go buy these studios. Everybody asks, well, why don't they just go build a studio? Why do there should be organic growth here? What's going on? All they do is buy things. This is exactly why. It's not that simple. You're trying to develop a philosophy. You're trying to develop a culture. At the same time, you're trying to produce a AAA game all at one time from the ground up. Sometimes there's going to be fallout. There's going to be growing pains. And I think that's what we're seeing here.
You know what this is, Pong? This is the 2021-2022 Lakers.
Right.
It's what this is.
That's what I'm saying. You put a dream team together, it doesn't always work. The
it doesn't always. We need more shooting. Now, look, does Alker queue up some of these super chats for you? And obviously, chat, let us know your thoughts on the initiative. If you haven't voted, Perfect Dark, obviously a reboot of a franchise no one really asked for. I would prefer the new IP, but, it is what it is. If it's good, then I'll take it. Obviously, we'll all take it. We'll all like it. We'll all play it. We'll all enjoy it. We just want quality. And right now, it's looking like the game is probably 2024, 2025. I would say.
I would agree.
Pretty
But
thought
I-
it was going to be 2024. It's
Well-
just, yeah.
Well, and Pong Soul did say something very good about like building a studio from the ground up. I don't know if everybody noticed. The two studios they've started to build up, everybody they bought from 2018 minus Playground, but including Playground's Fable team, everything they've had to build up from the ground up has had nothing come out. Like Playground Games, we've seen Fable, but like we saw a trailer and that's it. Nothing's come out. Sony building that San Diego studio everybody was talking about for what, 3 years now? Nothing announced. Building a studio from the ground up is hard and it takes a long time. And especially during this like upheaval, like the last 2.5 years, it's like no wonder. And Sony and Xbox saw that and was like, damn, we're not going to get anything from these people for a while. We're having trouble basically hiring. Like, let's just buy studios that are, already made and already have a track record, just like Sony did last year and they continue to doing with Bungie and all that. It's like you got to see the tea leaves, everybody. Like it's not just building the studio. It's like what Pong Soul said, building the culture and then working together. Like that's the best thing. That's why, like, Elden Ring, From Software have worked together. Like those 300 people have worked together for like 8-9 years.
Mhm.
So everybody's like, how'd they get this much content? It's because they know it. They know how to work together.
Yeah.
They get it. Like it's easy. They have all these systems down to basically second nature, and they can be creative.
It's
not-
definitely
it's very
easier
rare.
to take something that's a winning formula and just iterate and build, and that core of chemistry, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is gonna get you the furthest, the quickest, and it's hard to force that kind of chemistry. Which again, NBA reference, that's you just can't do it. And when you buy a studio that came together and it's been built literally organically, and you incorporate it into an arsenal of studios, that's going to be a little bit easier than doing it from the ground up. But that's why, people don't do it from the ground up a lot of times. That doesn't mean they shouldn't try. But, you also got to be aware that it's going to have some bumps in the road. But go ahead and get a
And
few
like
of these
Colt
suckers.
said-
And
I got the.
we got to
I
give a
got
shout
the-
out to everyone watching
your-
the show so far, too, guys.
Yeah, the farthest I could go is your favorite YouTube subscriber too. Love Tuesdays, hashtag RDX. Thanks, man. Drawn TJ says, hi, guys. This is going to be fire show. Thank you.
Thank you.
We also have Risk It. He says, I think we see Crystal Dynamics acquire the initiative shut down. I think it's a case of too many chefs, not enough Chiefs, not enough Indians. What the fuck? I'm not worried about Perfect Dark. The fuck, Risk It? They threw it in there just to fuck with me. Thanks, Risk It.
Shout out to Risk It.
Yeah, so then we got Face 23. He says GTA 5 joined Skyrim and Resident Evil 4 in being ported to multi-gen consoles. And why is GTA 5 only $10 for both story and online on PlayStation, yet $20 on Xbox?
That's a good question, man. Maybe Sony had, it's just the want first of many deals for Grand Theft Auto. I'm a Fox fucking Force creature. Hey, go ahead and read the next one.
We got Drawn TJ says, Colt, you need to be an announcer. Awesome voice. Yeah, it's pretty sexual. We got Alvin. Next. Alvin. Unless I hear it's being either rushed or canceled, I'm not worried. Zero faith lost in Perfect Dark. Still my most anticipated game.
Yeah, I like that energy, Alvin.
Yep. We got Dub. He says, I'm sad about what's happening with the initiative, but glad they aren't forcing the game out and hopefully are course correcting the best they can.
Look, Dub has
that's
got it
actually
right
pretty
there.
good.
As long as they're not forcing it out and develop. Look at Halo Infinite. It took forever. And largely it came out to positive, feedback there when it launched. And they dropped the ball a little bit since then. But you get my point. Like, hold something, finish it out, make it quality. That's what we want as Xbox fans. Continue.
They said Drawn TJ says lol spies. Yep, D-Batch is a spy. We got Michael Turner. Who's to say people who left had a good vision for the game anyway?
Oh shit!
I mean, that's the whole reason
Michael
why they were
Turner
hired.
being messy.
Yeah. Elvin Gully says it would have been better to give those guys their own dev team to make their own games instead of a super team.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep, and then we got Dark CMF. Since Zalker mentioned it, here's a copy of Elden Ring Global. Have fun. He put the code in, people.
Oh shit! Dark CMF giving away a copy of Elden Ring.
Damn, I didn't
and
scoop
then Killian he says AAA games take years to make. That's very, very true.
Yeah.
And Hargi in the chat again. That one.
Yeah, I just read that one. Then we got Hot Grits 910. He says, I hate to say it, but Perfect Dark will probably be 7.5 Metacritic. Not getting good vibes from its development.
Well, we will
That's
see,
weird.
man. There's been games with bad development or trouble, kind of
hell right now.
the history of development, and they've come out pretty decent. But that's us, though. We're not going to fearmonger shit that hasn't happened yet. We're gonna tell you everything that is happening, and then until we start actually seeing some stuff, we're not gonna waste your time being negative about bullshit we don't have to be negative about. Only after we see that stuff start to happen. But we do gotta move forward. Thanks for all the super chats, guys. We'll come back. We'll get some more later, but Perfect Dark, it is what it is. Expect it in probably 2025, and I guess if it takes that long, Cody Eastwood, it takes that long. Did you know that Sony's dead in 10 years, Cody Eastwood?
Yeah. I mean, I heard that on your show last week.
Was
that last week already?
It was. And I wanted to mention this real quick. For those that didn't catch, we had Michael Pachter on. It was a phenomenal show. But here's the problem, right? I got put in multiple groups of people on Twitter, right? DM groups. And guys just making fun of people like Destin Legary, making fun of these journalists that don't even quote the guy correctly or even know what the fuck he said, let alone refuse to even mention the source of the interview. And, you know, I wouldn't take it that far, but yeah, if you're going to be a journalist or you're going to, you know, piggyback off of a big fucking journalist website and do your own thing, and you're going to mention quotes from a guy like Michael Pachter, who is smarter than you'll ever be. If you listen to the show, you know this, right? He says crazy stuff. He made fun of himself for it. He said, you know, this isn't what he gets paid to do. But when he says that Sony will cease to exist as we know them in about 10 years, and you don't mention that, you don't mention the actual quote, and you just act like he's saying they won't be here, they'll be gone, you just demonstrate your own ignorance, right? So I wouldn't personally attack these people. I guess maybe I just did a little bit. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying I wouldn't take it that far.
Attack them, fucking idiot.
I wouldn't take it that far, but at least understand what the fuck you're talking about when you make videos and articles on this shit. There's a lot of shitty websites that wrote articles on this as well. You can railroad the guy all you want, but ultimately the facts are in the words you didn't put in your article, and that's just the truth. You already lost. So if you want to actually know what he said and full context and what he was actually talking about, which was games and services and Sony having to adapt for the future, then watch the full episode. And surprisingly, guys like Review Tech USA did a fantastic job of actually showing what Michael Pachter said, of actually knowing what Michael Pachter said, and doubled down on it at the end of his video when he talked about services and things like that. And he says it's too early to call it. Obviously, I don't agree with Michael Pachter. That's fine. I'm not going to treat him like he's a moron because I'm not reading his actual statements. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to bring that up. A lot of people didn't even quote the guy correctly. And, you know, hey, hooked on phonics, I guess. I just wanted to bring that up real quick. We can move on. I don't, Colt. I didn't really get to hear your take on what Pachter said. And chat, let us know your thoughts as well. It's been a week. It's had some time to digest. But Colt, what did you think when you heard his statements about Sony and how they just got a big hill to climb when it comes to services like Game Pass and all the acquisitions? And can they compete? Pachter doesn't think they can.
Well, I mean, Pachter has been saying a lot of really poignant stuff over the past decade. And lately he hasn't been in the gaming community as much as he used to, but he knows, he's able to step back and take a look, because we get into the weeds. We get really deep and get our fingernails into all the different arguments that are going on about how PlayStation and Xbox are competing. But he takes a step back and looks and says, look at how big Game Pass, Game Pass is a disruptive, huge industry, a take that something that has changed the way that we consume games. And I'll say things like subscriptions are king and people will fly off the handle. But look at us. We all have 8 to 12 subscriptions in our gaming, music, and entertainment series in front of our TVs and how we consume. So subscriptions are king. Pachter's saying that PlayStation is doomed in the model where they only release on one console. They don't release on PC. They try to keep everything exclusive into this tight little niche of just 100 million users. And Jim Ryan said that it's not good enough. So Michael Pachter knows all that. And when he says they're doomed and that they will not exist the way they have, which is where they kind of a walled garden, and they kept their platform where only the people in the private country club that bought a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5.
We got golf carts, bitch.
That business model is so extinct, and anyone, the whole industry knows that where Xbox is headed, putting your games, being able to access your games across your tablet, your phone, your PC, or multiple Xbox generation consoles means your purchase goes way further, and it is the future. And it's just PlayStation is the last in line. Nintendo's in a totally different league. I think that's basically what he's saying, because PlayStation is going to have to say, fine, we can't do this anymore. This whole special thing that we've done for our fans that, put their hooves down to the ground the way they act with this, it's not going to last forever. PlayStation's going to have to pivot.
Hargy, that's one of his chats. Can we get back to PlayStation is doomed? Also, he says that let's hope Crystal Dynamics can handle making the game. I agree very much, sir. We've also got gamers trailers. He says trailers. Perfect Dark will be fine. Don't worry. And Brigaders Blue, who also says the initiative seems to be a sort of think tank for games. Honestly, yeah. I mean, the whole idea of assembling a super team was definitely brainstorming for sure, and hopefully they got some good ideas for those guys kind of left. But he said get the core established, and then kind of farm out the workforce rather. Yeah, go ahead, Zucker.
No, I was gonna say we got Don TJ2. This is an amazing panel. Claps, damn. And then we got Casket Repair. He says, put together a team of big fish and suddenly they're not big fish anymore. Doesn't sit well with some people. Rather be bid in small pond.
Shout out to Casket Repair.
Yeah. I will say that. If you remember, a lot of the things like quadruple A and all this, that the real thing that they said was always that they're going to be the bleeding edge, kind of push boundaries of what games can do. And that the one thing that they were happy about was that they said this like 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, that they were happy to be small and flexible. Like that's what the initiative was really happy about, that they're a small team able to do stuff and be flexible. And maybe they're just looking for the right people to be a part of that and then farm it out to like a Crystal Dynamics to make the game. Who knows? I don't know. But as for what Colt was talking about with like Xbox and Sony, the other thing that Pachter said wasn't just that they're doomed because of like, they're going to be different in 10 years or they're going to cease to exist the way we know them. It's that they just can't compete with the services because they bring out 3 games a year, 4 games a year, like, right? And that's not going to last when Xbox starts firing.
And Fire Sprite and all these little studios they bought. Blue Point, is going to have something out. Apparently, they might be working on something original, but that's going to take who knows how long. Fire Sprite and these other guys are not going to be pumping out software that's going to sustain your Spartacus. They're just not.
Right. And that's the funny thing is that we get that it sounds kind of funny saying that when Xbox has fucking shit all this whole spring, and Phil Spencer's even admitted that. Like he's like, yeah, this quarter we don't have anything coming out. We want a steady stream of games, and we're trying to get to that.
Yeah,
and then like that self-awareness of like you can see it, right? They're kind of actually admitting that they want 4 big AAA games out every year by him saying that.
Mm-hmm. And that means you're going to get some third-party deals for Game Pass instead.
Yep. And so you're going to get some deals, you're going to get some other stuff, right? And that's the funny thing is that we were talking about that 4 AAA games like 3 years ago? And it's like now they're finally like at the point if Activision Blizzard goes through that, they're like, we are probably going to get that for you, right? Like they're going to have 4 games, if not more. So
4 Havoc says only 4 likes. Hit the like button. No, refresh your browser, buddy. We got a couple hundred likes on the show. Shout out to everybody hitting the like button. Shout out to everybody watching. D-Batch, did you have anything over the past week that kind of came to your mind after hearing all these bullshit articles and journalists that don't know how to quote people correctly?
Yeah, like even I made a joke about it last week. Like, listen, Sony, just use common sense. Sony is not going to be gone in 10 years. It's just freaking common sense. They're not. Will they be the leader? We don't know. But they're definitely not going to be gone. But they do have to compete. What people don't realize is that there's a lot of memes out there, Game Pass, and all these games are coming, AAA, quadruple A, whatever. But when they start coming, like when they start flowing, like next year, these games will be flowing. You're going to have 4 to 5 a year. And when this is flowing and they're top quality games, Sony's going to have to compete with that. Not to mention all the third-party deals that Microsoft has for Game Pass, EA Play being in Game Pass, all the fantastic games. When the deal goes through, when they get Call of Duty and all of Activision's IPs and all those games get added to Game Pass, it's going to be an undeniable service. And Sony is going to have to correct course if they want to compete. They're not going to be able to have the same model where they're selling $70 to $80 games when people are getting a catalog of games on Game Pass and getting new releases on Game Pass day and date. They're going to have to compete. And if they do not compete, and if they don't change course, then I think what Michael said last week is going to have some credence. I think that they're really going to be left out in the cold. They're going to have to adapt. And I think internally, there must be some type of contingency plan to combat this, because it's just not sustainable, especially when Game Pass gets rolling and these studios are in the motion and just releasing game
Spies,
after game after
D-Badge.
game.
Spies. The poll has concluded. 63% of you are not worried about Perfect Dark. 36% are. Thanks for participating. I can't talk today. But over 500 of you voted, basically. Pong Soul, I'm sure, I didn't want to go too much into the Pachter thing, but I want to jump off onto something called Xbox Keystone. Have you heard about Xbox Keystone? In chat, please participate here because maybe you know something that we don't. But Xbox Keystone has been kind of leaked in Windows data files, basically. And this is a name that I've heard before, but I don't know what it is. I've asked around, and basically they're saying that they don't think it's any kind of hardware. It has basically information relevant to software in the coding. It could be some kind of client or some kind of piece of software for gaming, and different things. Or I have no idea. But Pong, have you heard anything about this? What do you think it is? And how much is it going to be?
Shout out to all the dwarves who are doing all the data mining right now. It's fantastic what we get out of this information. But yeah, I did hear about this. Pretty interesting stuff. Again, maybe nothing. We're just speculating right now. My guess was it's a streaming stick, if anything, or whatever they're going to have. A streaming box, reasonable. Streaming stick. Yeah, that's my biggest guess because we know that's probably something that's been in the works for quite a while. Obviously, we've heard the apps are coming to the TVs later this year, maybe. So it would fit right along with that. Why would you not have that available? So obviously, again, price point, I'd charge $50, 99 bucks for the controller.
Greedy shit.
Yeah, why not? Why not, right? No, I definitely think that it's something like that. Again, but like you said, dealer, plenty of people saying that, hey, this could be nothing. It could be software related, whatever the case may be. But in Speculation Town, anything goes. So my bet would be on the streaming stick. It makes perfect sense with where they're going, everything that they want to accomplish, the accessibility factor. Why not get that piece of hardware out there so people, can access their games even if they can't afford or find a console, which seems to be a problem going forward.
It seems like it would be, if anything, a Fire Stick competitor or something, because you can get an xCloud app on any device for no charge. Colt, I want your thoughts on this. Have you kind of talked about this before? What are your thoughts on Xbox Keystone? What kind of product could it potentially be, or piece of software could it be potentially?
Yeah, the Keystone thing, I didn't go very far with it like you did. We didn't run out and make crazy videos like Xbox Series X Pro Slim thing.
yeah, I saw people saying new console revealed. It's like,
oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with you guys. It does seem like it could be some sort of software extension, but just in the line that it was in the code, like it followed Scorpio and I can't remember what the names were, but
Durango, Scorpio,
Durango, yeah, and it followed that, and then you thought, oh, it has to be like the next iteration. But I don't know if you go even further in the media press event that Phil and Satya and Todd Howard and them did, like over a year ago, they said that they are working on the next generation of consoles, and if they were working on a mid-gen refresh that this Keystone would be, he wouldn't have used those words. But, I am with you guys. I think it's one of those things. It's just like some part of the inner workings of whatever the platform is doing to kind of expand how people play games or how they can get to them. Maybe Xbox Keystone is a new game DVR dealer.
Oh, man. We know that's not true.
They're
not making one of those ever.
I think it's some type of like a Fire Stick competitor that's going to allow you to play Game Pass on there. I think maybe they'll have something local in it that will maybe reduce the latency so they can, as a selling point. That's just me guessing. And it very well could be the next generation console. Like,
I don't know, dude. I definitely wouldn't run with that at all, but
No, but I'm saying, but would people be surprised? Like, Microsoft is gonna be working on the next console, so like
they started working on the Xbox One X. When did they say? 2012.
Yeah, so personally, I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, mid-gen refresh with this leak," and I've seen some other people saying mid-gen refresh with the PlayStation 5 because there was some documents leaked on some stuff. Listen, this generation, I hate to break it to you guys, the hardware is excellent. Okay, we got 8-core 16-thread CPUs in there. We got good GPUs in these systems. We got features that unfortunately the devs aren't using yet, such as
Just
FSR,
fucking
that will improve frame rate. So there's a lot more juice left in these consoles, and you can't find these damn consoles anywhere. You can't find a Series X, you can't find a PlayStation 5,
Yeah.
and you're gonna tell me that they're gonna do a mid.
They're gonna make another one,
mid-gen
D-Bash.
just use common sense. A mid-gen refresh is not happening.
I'll
and
be
these
pissed.
Consoles, these consoles don't need it. I think the earliest that we're going to see new consoles is 2025.
Look,
That's
for
just
one,
my
Phil
opinion.
himself talked about how the problem with the Xbox One X was that they didn't launch it day and date with the Xbox One, and a lot of developers, most of them, did not have development kits for it. As a result, it was not a cohesive development experience, and that's why they wanted the two models from day one development kit. You push a button, whatever, however they're doing it now. Everyone has a dev kit for both systems. It's actually required. If you make a game for one, it has to work and be made for the other as well because it's the same dev kit. They didn't have that last generation. So it's hard to believe they would really talk about that, complain about the lack of cohesion with development. Not all the support developers have all the dev kits, and then come out and release another dev kit for another better SKU. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Secondly, if they made a damn Xbox Series X Pro, Elite, whatever you want to call it, that would piss me off because it's been a year and a half, and I've not seen one RDNA 2 feature used on any of these fucking games. I've not seen them even using things, basic shit, like checkerboarding on stuff. Like, they're running shit at 1080p, and then later
They're not
boosting
even
it.
using dynamic resolution scaling at all.
Yeah, they're not using FSR. They're not
Another
using
thing-
mesh
Not even
shaders.
using fucking HDR in some games.
Yeah, it's
I
ridiculous.
gotta
So
say
if they
something.
came out during a chip shortage and released another
Yeah,
box,
yeah.
which it's just not likely, guys. And if Sony did it, good luck, because you can't buy a PS5 now as it is still almost 2 years in. It's getting ridiculous. You know, just focus on the
there's-
hardware that's out there.
When you talked about last generation, one of the things, like when you think about in the 2015 or 2016 era when the PS4 Pro came out, like there was a reason to have a mid-gen refresh because those consoles were underperforming for what they were, but you were also in the middle of a 4K TV
Revolution.
uprising. Like a lot of people wanted to get into 4K TVs, and the performance on games was, a lot of games ran at 23 to 27 frames on the Xbox and sometimes on the PS4. So having a Pro and an Xbox One X was really important. But like D said, when you look at these consoles, they're targeting 60. They sit around in the 55 to 60 range almost all the time on almost every game. There's really no reason to push resolution any higher. It's just like there's things like ray tracing and some of the other RDNA 2 things that won't come into play until these other games have been worked on for so long.
I mean, hey, some games do it well. Doom Eternal's a fantastic example of one of the best looking games of all time. Ray tracing at 60 FPS, well above 1080p. You know,
Yeah.
it depends on the engine, the talent, you know, what time these guys have. And you've got to want to put the effort in. And Dying Light is a great example of that. We're going to get to that because, just like I said, it got boosted on the Series X for Dying Light 2. It actually happened. So we're going to get into that as well. Zucker, please get some of these super chats, some of these fantastic people while I cue this up. Will you, buddy?
Yeah, let me
What's a little bit of flair, Zucker?
I'm trying to find
Shit.
the fuck. Okay, we got Space Dovakin. He says he clearly said they're gonna cease to exist as we know them. Their current model has an expiration date. Of course, they have to evolve or die.
Facts.
Yep, pretty much like every business in the world.
Way to doom and
Havoc,
gloom
yeah,
it, Zucker.
we have more than 35 likes. I think you saw that one.
Yep.
Chaos Smite says the initiative should have been making multiple games with them being the director studio, which they direct many games at the same time while getting other studios to do the grunt work like Crystal Dynamics. I don't know about the multiple games
Zucker,
thing.
you don't
Making
got to
a
go
game-
all in on this man right now, okay? We
Sorry.
got topics.
Moby, he says, this is why I listen to the RDX, because you just don't get one person point of view. You get a variety of opinions from different angles.
Thank you very much.
Right. And some of us are halfway smart. Danny Passion says, let's go. Colt in the house. Yep.
He is
we
technically
got,
in the house.
Yeah, he is. Chaos Might says, okay, Xbox Keystone sounds like a streaming stick. It's a key to the cloud and a stone of a place to go.
And
What
a
the
great
hell?
year.
He broke that shit down
Damn.
word for word.
And where's the
Damn,
coordinates
letter by
at,
letter.
man?
Yeah, no shit. Splendifer says, damn, feels like old times. I miss Fawns. Get well. Cry face. Fuck Fawns. Moving on.
Jeez.
Yeah, shout out to Fonz. Fonz is in the chat, man. I was dying. He was making
I
some
know.
jokes.
He was like mediocrity everywhere. Drawn TJ. if they get all the WB and Take-Two or EA and potentially in the future Steam, they will make Game Pass $40 a month. If they have all of that and Steam, $40 is nothing, bro. Like honestly, like calm down. We got Risk Kitty says, I think PlayStation 5 will do a PS5 Pro simply because they don't have RDNA 2. I'm not saying soon, but I'm betting in 3 years or so the X will not refresh.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, if you go
I
from
don't know about that.
If they do a Pro and it's got features the regular one don't have, that creates the problem of developers not leveraging, your system for what it is. We've seen systems that both have RDNA 2 full feature sets, and the shit's still not used. So it's a tricky situation. Shout out to Risk It. Hopefully you feel better, brother.
We got one more.
Elemental,
whatever.
Shout out to him.
Elemental, damn fucking name. I think devs should build for the PlayStation 1 as the base and build on that. Of course, I'm kidding here. You mean the Ouya? As for the Keystone, I just think it's
been a minute since I've seen you in the chat, brother. Good to see you're alive and kicking.
Yeah, I think the big thing about this is it is a stick. Like honestly, like they've talked about it. I mean, Jez has talked about this. A lot of insiders, we've talked about it. It's a stick to just get into the living room, and they're gonna have like all the other stuff on it, streaming like Netflix, all that, and it's just so people can get into the Microsoft's ecosystem and Xbox ecosystem, and you're gonna be able to play Game Pass games on there and probably
you ain't
games
putting
you
words
own.
in little Jesse Pooh's mouth, are you?
I mean, people have talked about.
All
this
right, well,
thing.
come on now. You don't.
I mean, Jez confirmed it. He said it's a stick. No,
Shout out to
I'm
Jez
joking. He
Gordon.
didn't confirm shit. Yeah, Jez Gordon.
Jez Gordon.
I know.
And shout out to 1,100 people watching this live, guys. If you haven't hit the like button, tell a buddy or two about the show, and of course, let us know your thoughts down below. We have other topics also, by the way, Zalky.
No shit.
Zalky.
Let's go. Let's do them.
Xbox Keystone. Dying Light 2. There was an update.
All right, kill the show.
Yep, kill the show. I don't want to stick on this long. It's another, we fucking said it would happen. Bullshit. You guys hate that. Dying Light 2, Xbox 60 FPS. Series S got a 60 FPS boost, just like we said. Series X just got a balanced mode that reportedly raises the resolution. And you guys can check this out now. It's got a performance, a quality, and a balanced mode. I played in this mode, and I don't know what the pixel count's at, but they've definitely leveraged a little bit more of the GPU for pixel count now, instead of just having an extra 30 to 40 frames per second in the VRR mode, just sitting there doing nothing. So just like we said, it's getting boosted. It's not just Dying Light 1, it's Dying Light 2, and that's what I was talking about. So again, let us know if you have played Dying Light 2, and if you noticed the difference. I've got a message on Xbox. Some people are like, man, I can tell a pretty good difference. Halo, Cole, you know what's a pretty good difference? Hey, there's supposed to be co-op in the game, right? Eventually.
God damn it.
Now, it's not launching with co-op in season. Which season are we in? None?
We're still season one.
We're still season none, right? Okay, so which season is Halo co-op coming in again?
At the end of season 2 in like August.
Fuck! So
it might be longer than might be longer.
So did you know that it's going to be 4-player co-op?
I would hope it would. We've already looked at all the mechanics, and it should be 4-player, but they yanked 4-player co-op out of Crackdown 3 trash.
Pong,
So,
did you?
yeah.
I could have swore I heard somewhere. It might have been Nano. He might have told me that they said it was going to be 4-player co-op. But there are 4 gun stations at the FOBs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody hear about this? Anybody hear about this?
Said it. Staten said that it's a open world 4-player co-op when they talked about that it's not going to be there at the beginning of season 2. He said that it's a 4-player open world co-op game, and that we've ran into some trouble like making it for 4 players and making it run across all consoles and blah blah blah. And it was so like it was supposed to come out in May.
Remember when we said that the co-op got delayed because of the RAM on the original Xbox One?
Yeah,
and everybody kept coming up with their own fucking theories. No, we weren't lying. Like he just said it. We had trouble making it for all the consoles.
I thought bullets can travel farther because of SSD.
Look, SSDs make all the fat pipes are real. Pong Soul 4-player Halo co-op. This is why I was really wanting co-op so bad in Infinite, because the gameplay is so fun, and I can only imagine it with 3 other friends just doing fucked up shit. Halo 4-player co-op is bound to be a blast. What are your thoughts on the fact that they've actually confirmed this, and it is apparently a thing that's coming some point in the future that probably will be delayed a year later?
Yeah, I said this from the beginning. The 4-player co-op was made for Halo Infinite was made for co-op, right? Especially the campaign. When you see that open world, when you're running around, gunning things and rocket launching and flying around. Man, all I could think about was how cool would this be with a couple other buddies, right? 2 3 other buddies in here. Absolute chaos. It's the perfect game, perfect setting for that. Just to be able to tackle different situations. They could expand the gameplay even more, introduce new modes to it, up the number of enemies on, at the bases, make it really hard for those that want to, test and get challenged, but be able to plan out with your buddies how you're going to attack a base. Couple people on a warthog, a couple others grapple hooking in, with rockets. Man, just again, the game was made for it. I said that from the beginning, and I can't wait for this. It was disappointing when it wasn't there in the beginning. I'm glad they've confirmed that they're, obviously working on it and trying to get it out. Hopefully sooner than later. Things keep seeming to get pushed back at this point with Halo in certain instances, but when it comes out, it's going to give brand new life to this game. Once again, more people are going to jump right back into it, so I'm excited.
Nothing's going to be as deadly as 4 AI squad members with those damn rocket launchers or sniper rifles with unlimited ammo. But hopefully your friends can compete with the AI. And again, people, Darnell in the chat to say they never said it into Season 2. They definitely said it wasn't going to be there to launch of Season 2. So, maybe a month or 2 months into Season 2?
They said that it's not going to be there at launch, and they didn't give a date. And then they also didn't give a date on Forge, and that's supposed to be Season 3.
I'm trying to forge shit, and I can't because it keeps getting delayed.
When's the ray tracing coming?
Yeah, where the fuck's the ray tracing?
Exactly.
Gosh.
When's the other shit?
Where's the patch that fixes the grass that hovers off
When
the
are you
damn
gonna
mountains?
give the big thing is honestly right now is like I want Season 2, I want co-op, but they need shit in the multiplayer. Like they just don't have anything in there. It's funny because we thought the multiplayer was gonna be like this great success and it was ready and they were gonna launch that instead and it came early and it's like now they got nothing. It's like the campaign almost carried the multiplayer to its success. It's like what's going on?
Disappointing because Halo's really known for its multiplayer. So
Halo's not really known right now for anything.
Yeah, man. Like I'm glad that they had a successful launch, and I'm glad we got to enjoy the campaign. Like I enjoyed the campaign. But yeah, man, multiplayer is definitely lacking, and most people have moved on from it.
I want the
they
chats.
really need to update it quickly.
Yeah, they do, and I want the chat's thoughts. And I don't know if you guys are lying. Okay. Let me know if you're still you're already lying. You guys are already lying. Let me know if you're still playing Halo multiplayer. Right now, most of y'all are saying yes.
To see the concurrent users go up by 7.
I'm so fucking playing it. Right now, it's 54% yes. 46% of y'all is.
Well, Dealer, are you gonna jump into co-op in August of this coming year, or do you think that we'll be on other stuff?
I can't wait to jump into co-op in that game. That's why I'm waiting, because we beat it on the preview version. We didn't get achievements, nothing, right? I went through it on the retail version, had to start over, didn't get to keep my save. First time I ever reviewed a game from Xbox and had to basically start over and was on a preview build, right? I went and got all the side stuff, killed all the high value targets, did all that stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm just whatever. I'm just gonna start over on a hard difficulty with friends, and I'll wait to finish up the story on it. I got most of the side stuff, so I'm excited for it, Cole. That's something we.
Can I just say?
Imagine the score,
I
though.
watched your gameplay. I watched your gameplay of you trying to switch seats back into the driver's seat to pilot the plane or the helicopter. You just shimmied back and forth on the bench for like 10 seconds.
This is a Ghost Recon Wildlands, by the way. God. No, actually, I was making a joke to the person I was playing with. They was scratching my ass. But still, this is Ghost Recon Wildlands. And it's running on Series X.
Great
for those. Papa Baco was asking in the chat. But Cole, imagine if we'd been able to play Halo Infinite in co-op during the review period, and holy shit, what a phenomenal experience that would have been.
Like you said, mostly the high value targets would have been like the best experience, like taking those on together. Because I was taking on some of those because you and I were both reviewing the game, and there was one like an elite that was in a big ghost. What's the darn thing called?
The Phantom.
The big one that has the big turret on it.
The Phantom.
I can't remember what it's called. The Phantom, yeah. And it took me like 20 some tries because I was playing on heroic, and I'm like, if Dealer and I were doing this, it would have been so much better. And I don't know. I hope
10
I want
years
to get
ago,
back
I
into
played
it.
Halo with co-op, and this one don't have it, but I gave it a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, it would be fun for sure.
Derp.
Derp.
And honestly, I get like, all right, co-op's coming. Like we're saying August, but we don't know the date, right? If it's August, awesome. But what happens if it is September or October? What happens if it's when Redfall drops? Am I gonna really go play Halo instead of fucking Redfall, or go play Halo instead of all these other games?
I think Redfall's
like,
coming after Halo's co-op for my prediction, but
I mean, I think like it's September, October is what.
What if the real
saying.
Cyberpunk
Cyberpunk Punch?
Does it turn it into an actual CD Projekt Red game?
Yeah.
Dealer, did you beat that, by the way?
I have no desire.
Right
As of right now, I have zero desire to go back to Cyberpunk. It just doesn't feel like a CD Projekt Red game to me.
No.
That is not saying that I hate it or that I won't go back to it. But as of right now,
he told me at a party he gives it a 3.25.
I give it a 3.5 because the co-op. Me and my brother used to play co-op. God. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, guys. Let us know if you still play Halo multiplayer, and I'll do another poll for how many of y'all lied on the first one.
Just the poll says how many of you lied.
How many of y'all lied? Hey, but there's seriously though. I'm looking forward to the Halo co-op update, 4-player co-op. It's looking like it'll be a lot of fun. Unlike EA Play Live, because that's been canceled. You know why? Because EA don't have shit. Chat, let us know if EA have anything to play anytime soon. They fucked up Battlefield, and they did. You got to be honest about it. Pong Soul. We know that EA plays have struggled. This is a show where they introduced a new generation of Command & Conquer running on a fucking cell phone.
Oh, don't even fucking bring it up.
They're
dude. Why
very
you gotta kill somebody?
disconnected. They need to get rid of the guy running that show. Send him to the gulag. And
Put
obviously,
Zimpel in charge.
yeah, which he is in charge of DICE now, right? Well, good.
Yes.
But man, I thought we were going to
In
get
charge
Fallen
of
Order
EA.
this year. Like, are they not going to show that off? Are they going to be on someone else's stage? That could be something. Fallen Order
There's a lot
2.
that needs to be shown. There's a need, again, but like you said, Dealer, do they really have anything ready to show? We
I
know
thought we were
Dragon
getting
Age
Fallen Order
has
2
been pushed,
this year.
That's what I was just gonna say.
but they're going to just show it randomly during one day when they announce it, 3 days prior. and
Well,
say,
think
"Here
about
we are."
think about classic E3s, right? You show up and you're like, what
Correct.
big games are going to show up here?
Correct.
This year it could be the new BioShock, Fallen Order 2. There's a bunch of third parties. They brought them back last year.
Dragon Age. Remember, there was a report like a few weeks ago talking about Dragon Age development being really well done, and it has a concise vision of what they want.
What do you think they're going to do? Say, no, it sucks. We're really struggling right now.
Like they did with Mass Effect Andromeda.
You mean like the
Andromeda's coming along well.
You mean like the initiative? We have no culture. Fuck.
Oh,
Wow.
dang.
Too early.
Others think you didn't hear what Zocker said. It's cool.
But seriously though, Punk, so they got Fallen Order 2, right? We think that's pretty close. They're working on Dead Space, that remake. I want to play that, reportedly 2023. I mean, they have a few things they can show, but maybe they don't have enough to have their own event, but maybe they'll show up at some other guys' shows, right? What do you think? Why do they cancel this, Punk? So tell us.
Because they don't have the content to put it all in one spot anymore. Pure and simple, right? They've pushed games. They've had development problems. Anthem killed them. Look, all this stuff leads up to this point, and they obviously have the perfect excuse. There's really not an organized E3 this year of any kind, so they can do exactly what they did last year: have a random show out of the blue and say, "Here, we finally got something to give you all." So here's a crumb, right? Here's Fallen Order 2. Here's a teaser, right? So that's what they're going to do this year. They're just using it. Again, EA right now seems really unorganized. They've done a lot of good stuff like Fallen Order, but they've also still had their problems.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we can't expect anything out of EA.
I think it's an excuse. I think they just didn't want to do it anymore. They didn't want to put the money forward. They saw that FIFA's going to sell, Madden's going to sell, their games are going to sell, the ones that they have, and they're like, we're cool with that. And any other game, they'll probably be at the Keighley show for the summer, or maybe even in the holiday to show something. Yeah, they probably will go to
piggyback.
They'll piggyback
off something.
Yeah, they'll piggyback something else so they can save money, and that's it. But at the end of the day, I think it's a smart move by them because holy shit, do they have bad PR right now? They had like the Battlefield 2042 murdered. Like they're gone over there, and they're just trying to get any good PR for any game they bring out. And I think they're just kind of banking on, Dragon Age or whatever, Fallen Order, the other Star Wars games they're making. I don't know. Like EA is just kind of sitting there riding the coattails of Apex Legends because it makes a lot of money for them. And they're just banking on that right now because Battlefield failed and all the other games that they've kind of brought out have kind of not done well. So I think they're going to take this year to regroup and just come back next year with some big games and talk about them then, or piggyback off another show.
Well, there was a tweet Nano sent me from a guy called Michael Tucker. And he says he's been getting a lot of questions recently about what he's been up to. He's excited to share that he's working with BioWare on the next Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Now, who the hell's Michael Tucker?
Michael Tucker.
Is it Chris Tucker's cousin or?
I don't know. It just says
I mean
creator.
that game was been in development. They've talked about how Mass Effect isn't dead and that they realize, like, obviously with the remake of the new one that came out, the 3 games, right? The remaster, like, it's a big franchise. Andromeda wasn't going to be the end, but I expect Dragon Age to be first and then Mass Effect after it. So I think it's going to be Star Wars and Mass Effect, or Star Wars and Dragon Age next year that they talk about a lot, or piggyback off of.
Well, he's got
Next
a YouTube
Mass Effect
channel.
will be huge.
He's got a YouTube channel. I think he is a screenwriter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He might be writing the story. He might be helping with the story.
Maybe. Just take notes from how shitty the last one was, Michael, please, and don't make it like that.
I love Mass Effect. I think Mass Effect is probably the only kind of RPG game that I've ever really liked. I thought that, okay, the 3 was a little whatever, but like the first 2 I did enjoy, especially the first one. The first one, when it dropped, it was like such a new experience. If they can recapture the feeling that we all had playing the first one with the 4th iteration of the game on next gen hardware, I think it's going to be a huge hit, man. Like,
That's a big ask, D.
Yeah. Well,
They just, like D said, they have to go back and look at what made the original couple of games amazing, and I feel like they just tried to change and improve way too many things. When I play Andromeda, it's all I can think of is they thought, oh, we'll make these characters look so much more, more dynamic, and it looks like a freaking Pixar movie. I hate it.
Say though, like the combat in that game though, Andromeda is fucking awesome.
It's amazing.
Like,
It's where
they have really
combat
good.
came
They have
from.
really good combat, really good gameplay. But I know the story didn't hit, and I know the warped face is messed up. But to me, it's always been about the gameplay. And when I played, I think we did like a couple of those like horde modes or whatever together for we did it for a couple hours. I was like, man, this gameplay is just really tight, just really good. And then they took that gameplay and put it into Anthem, which Anthem's gameplay was not the problem. It was the just lack of content and terrible service and everything, but the gameplay was really damn good. I hope they keep that. I hope they build off the gameplay and just build the worlds and make it an actual big RPG, like go to multiple planets, do a bunch of crazy shit like they did in the first games. Like it was, and the story all tied in, right? Where Dealer, you just basically are almost done with the third one, right? Like you go through all of it and you're like, man, this is all connected and this is all awesome.
Running through them 10 years later, it's like, these are still really good, even the third one.
Yeah,
they were really, I think Colt said you like the third one actually a lot.
Yeah, I was surprised how much I liked the third one after going through the whole thing. Like
again, right?
It's amazing. Yeah, after going through it again, and you've been playing through it, you're almost done. But yeah, it's amazing. But the problem is that magical team is not really there anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and writing in the characters.
Andromeda was the Vancouver, Montreal team or whatever, and yeah, it's just not the same. But,
well, let me give a few shout outs here. Drawn TJ and Zach, you can start from the bottom up if you want. We can hammer these out real quick. But Drawn TJ says, can you guys imagine? I think he's talking about Keystone, that it was a bundle that had a handheld streaming stick for $300 with a year of Game Pass. That would be, pretty incredible. I don't know, man. Every phone is kind of a place that you can play their games through an app, right? So I'm not sure if the investment in hardware, though I think companies will take away from Steam Deck and learn from that little device. I don't think it's worth them putting so much money into hardware. When a phone, streaming is eventually going to be pretty good. Felix Ortiz, shout out to you, buddy. And then we got Lord Starkiller says ponies are wrong again. Huh? Okay, go ahead.
I got these. I got them lined up. We got Lord Starkiller. He says ponies wrong again when it came to Dying Light 2 on Series S being able to do 60 FPS.
Facts.
Same people say 120 hertz gaming is niche, and Series S is always running below 1080p and 30 FPS. Not playing Dying Light 2 yet. Elden Ring. Just stay on Elden Ring.
Just
it's 10
2
times
words.
better.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, still reading.
Let him go ahead and
yeah. I got Yodani, all team hashtag delay Halo wake up every morning at 5 a.m. and make some soup. It's the best. They love it. They get to lay down in a bed by themselves all of their lives. It's fantastic. Absolutely maidenless. God damn. What the fuck, Yodani?
Yodani, chill out, man.
So he just, dude, psychiatry shit.
We
we got Danny Passion. We got Danny Passion. He said, "Sadly, my Xbox Series X only seen Elden Ring since launch." Well, that's all it needs to see, bitch.
Hey, there's a
Sorry.
Hey, look. There's a lot of really, really good games out there for you to play, man. Enjoy.
Yeah,
Bitch.
we got.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Sorry, bro. We're just like that here. RWK says EA TT will be on sale pretty soon. Tencent money bag. I hope Tencent doesn't buy them.
You are not the PS5 version.
You are not
Next.
now. All right, there you go. That's all of them. Go ahead, D.
Okay. Yeah, so I just want to say about the streaming stick. I think it actually probably would be a good idea, especially if you couple it with the Game Pass, because we don't know the situation. Like, we know it's going to be appearing on some TVs, but maybe the situation Sony's like, you know what, we don't want this on our TVs, so you can't put Game Pass on our TVs, and they block it. Or for people that have older TVs that aren't smart, or for people that have monitors that aren't smart, it could be a real easy solution.
You're looking out for the dummies, huh, D-Badge?
Listen, man, like, just because something's not good for us and we don't have interest in it doesn't mean that a lot of people won't. There's a lot of people out there that can't afford the hardware, or they just can't find the hardware. So I think it would be a good alternative. And if the price point is cheap enough, I actually do seeing it being successful.
Hey, Splendifer Zalker's weird dealer likes Animal Crossing. And he's king, apparently. Shout out to Splendiferous.
I mean, he knows us so well.
Talking shit. We've also got PGE Bear. Shout out to you, buddy. He said we need for Speed Heat 2 ASAP. Huge fan. Keep rocking. Salute to you guys and the panel. Thank you very much, man. Need for Speed, that's one of those games they showed off, Colt, when they did their little speech of how they're working on next-gen games over there at EA. And they showed those cars and the some bullshit that we still haven't gotten years later. I thought we were getting a Heat enhancement, but that just never showed up.
Yeah, that would have been nice, because that's a really that's a nice looking racer.
It's blurry as fuck, but yeah. If you can,
yeah, it's like chromatic aberration, the game. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
I just want them to bring back the real actor cutscenes.
Oh, man.
Can you get that happening?
I think Grid Legends is on that for you.
Oh, my God.
It's
so, like, yo, bro, you gonna go hit the race circuit with me and whatnot? Who wants to smoke, sir?
We need a new driver, and you're the only one around. Yeah,
Isn't it kind of funny that studios show that stuff, like crazy stuff that you're like, man, I hope that's in the game, and then it's not. Even like the door closing in the Division trailer. Do you remember that? Like when they closed the door of the
Ubisoft
car,
sort of put it in there after the.
They did it later. They did it later.
Yeah.
No, they did it like 2 years ago. Like, so it's been like that was in the trailer, and people were like, he closed the door, and it was like, oh my God, and then it was never in there, and they're like, wait a minute, it's like, dude, they always
There's
do that
hope,
shit.
right? There's hope because they got Codemasters now, so hopefully they're going to work on new Need for something.
They just released Grid Legends, and they are working on F1 2022 right now, which, by the way, F1 2021 is hitting Xbox Game Pass along with Shredders, who Microsoft sent out some codes for that game. I know Colt and I got one for sure. We've played it. It's an interesting little game. It's coming to Game Pass. Just check it out. I don't know what the embargo is on it. So
I literally turned it down because of that, because it's coming to Game Pass and I'm playing Elden Ring, and they're like, "You want to play this?" I was like, "Nah."
Yeah, I wanted to check it out.
Shredders is basically the Elden Ring of snowboarding games.
Oh my God, I'm getting it. Never mind. You hooked me, Colt. You hooked me.
It is a snowboarding
Light
game.
and
It is a
finger.
snowboarding game. It's kind of interesting.
It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool from what I've seen, and I can't lie. I am kind of jonesing for a snowboarding type of game. My favorite type of game that's in that genre was SFX.
Did you like
man.
Steep?
Steep was okay, but SFX is like my favorite type of that snowboarding game. But this looks interesting. It's on Game Pass. Comes out on the 17th. I wish I got a review, an early code, but I'm definitely looking forward to playing this. It's been on my radar for the last few weeks.
No, you got to keep grinding, D-Batch. Get up to like 40K,
exactly.
Man. Keep dropping video shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it,
Fucking
man.
on, motherfucker.
Hey, I think EA are redoing some older snowboarding games they did. SSX or whatever.
I
think
don't
they-
know. Steep sold really well for them. So I don't know. I don't know if they're doing that.
That's
but...
Ubisoft, sir.
Oh fuck!
You fuck.
I'm an idiot.
You are.
Never mind.
Hey, shout out to over 1,100 people watching this, guys. Hit the like button. Tell everybody, too. If you're playing Elden Ring, let us know what level you are and what boss are you really hating right now. most of us are hating every boss. Actually, there's only a
Can
few.
I just-
the fucking
can I just
Crucible
talk
Knight?
about-
Fuck that thing.
Can I just say that I beat a boss at the Volcano Manor? I was yelling about
fat
this in
guy?
the party with these guys. And I beat the boss, guys, okay? It took me a while. I finally beat him, and then my Xbox crashed to home screen and didn't save it. And then I go back, he's just standing there like, "Hi, you thought I was gone, bitch?" You don't understand how mad I was.
Did you message Jason Ronald and be like, I can't believe you just did this to me? What the fuck?
I said, "I will find you." I beat him again. But man, talk about like 100 hours. First crash was that, and it pissed me off. But either way, speaking of Ubisoft, I know it's not on there. Did anybody check out or play Dawn of the Ragnarok?
I got it. I just haven't booted it up because I'm playing Elden Ring.
No, I feel like it's like a lot of people like actually liked it. Like ACG liked it. A bunch of other reviewers that I've like kind of like listened to that they're like, yeah, I liked it better than Valhalla. Like it's really cool. But I was just wondering, same with the chat, if anybody played Dawn of the Ragnarok, unless you're playing Elden Ring, just let us know if you like it in there. I just want to.
I think Assassin Lupa is gonna play it.
I messaged her. She said "F you."
Yeah, I don't blame her. Ashtray Gaming said he's level 9 in Elden Ring. We don't talk anymore. Spooky Sprocket, shout out to you, brother. Awesome to see you in the chat again, man. Seriously, let us know if you're playing Elden Ring, brother. And thanks for stopping by, man. But yeah, Pong, you playing Elden Ring?
Of course I am, sir. What else? Yeah, I'm level 143, something like that.
Man, did you get to that level and beat the game and get all the achievements in 60 hours?
Heck no. No. That's not how I play
God.
it. I'm not Rand, right? I don't use all the guides and do
Oh,
all that
shit.
kind of stuff.
Oh, fuck.
Oh man, no.
Randall Guy Reader 19.
Randall Guide Reader.
I fell off an Elden Ring cliff when Pong Soul just said that. I said,
And your souls went with you, or the runes, or whatever.
all my runes just like.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rand, love him. I had to give him a little shit there because he was
Hey,
getting it online pretty well.
A lot of people are giving Rand
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, but
Yeah.
shout out to Rand. He's a good friend. We give him shit. It's funny. And I mean, you're liking Elden Ring quite a bit, right?
Yeah. This is the first. This is number 5 for me trying to get into a Souls game, but this is the one that actually worked due to the open world. The sense of exploration and discovery, second to none. It's right up there with my greatest of all time, which is Skyrim. So it's right up there, just finding and just, hey, there's a place I want to go check it out. I'm going to go check it out and just going, what is this? What did I just find? That part of the game is absolutely addicting. I love it. So I'm having a great time with it.
Mm-hmm. And it's less tedious. You don't have to run through the same corridor 100 times most of the time, right? That's what will kill me on the way to a boss fight. I'll take RIP. Just to run there over and over and over will piss me off, and that's what will make me stop playing the game over a challenging boss. But hey, I got to shout out to Sir X-Man, who does say EA needs to make Burnout again or SSX. Hey, you might get one of those. Dark CMF says if it gets to 1,000 likes, I'll drop another code. Yeah, good luck doing that for the show. But yeah, it usually averages in between around 2,000 likes, I think, a show. So maybe do it in the comments afterwards. And then Sir X-Man has one more, but I can't see it. I got to move my damn browser page. Anybody else see Sir X-Man's?
Yeah, I see it.
Go ahead and read that one.
No, you got that one.
There's another one below.
I want Burnout 3 Takedown Remastered to come to EA. Ooh, yeah. Oh, man. I was really a fan of Burnout Paradise, and Burnout fans hate that game, but I thought it was so fun. But I don't know if those are coming back.
Well, Cole,
I feel like those old
read this other one here that just dropped. Maybe we can bounce off of that.
Polygon.
$20 super chat. Shout out to you.
Super chat for the RDX dude says RDX is tearing it up over 1,100,000 watching 1,100,000 million billion. Giant Bombcast posted today that less than 900 views. Shout out to the Iron Lords Destiny clan. We cleared the vow of the disciple raid last night, and I was able to get the cloak of virginity from Zur.
Holy
Shout
shit.
out to Pixel and Polygons and your spell of butt plug of Agrabah or whatever you guys got. Hey, seriously though, chat, let us know if you guys are, Chinook guy. What did you call him last week, Bazalker?
I don't know, Chinaki or something. Shiitake mushrooms. I don't know.
Washington State word, and it's also a two-rotor helicopter.
Yeah,
So,
it's shout out to Chinook guy. He says, what is that?
Leonine
Leonine
misbegotten, and I
misbegotten.
killed each other in a final attack. It counts as a win.
Oh shit! Hey, at least you got. Hey, man, I killed the Crucible Knight by having he flew past me, right? Flew out the window and fell off the building and died. I got a shield. It was pretty cool.
It counts.
I gotta say, every time
man.
Dealer runs into a Crucible
I'm
Knight,
like,
I
fuck
know
this thing.
because he turns a corner. He's like, yeah, I'm exploring this. Fuck! Like what? And he's like, this Crucible Knight's here, and I'm just hating my life. I'm like, oh my god,
I hate
Dealer.
the Crucible Knight, man. You know you
Yeah,
still get your ass kicked by those. Admit it.
Nah, I don't.
Don't lie to me.
Literally, the shield just like
You just pull out your phone and
negates
show
them.
him your YouTube video, and he runs off.
He pretty much. He's like, look at that thumbnail. Get the hell out of here. No, he honestly, it's the shield just made them so much easier because it just blocks and counters, and then I just messed them up. Like that's it. They barely hit me now. Before it was like I had to dodge a lot, but now it's just block and shield. OPSL.
Block and shields.
Yeah, the
I
shield,
need-
man. You block and then counter them, and then it's just
Oh,
over.
you got
Like,
that one shield. Yeah, I need to find out where that's at. I forgot about it.
Yeah, apparently Obi said that shield's on that guy on the horse, but he's one of the hardest bosses to kill. And I was like, Obi, I just think you suck.
Shout out to Obi. He's a moderator. Shout out to the Boss Mod, Lethal Papa, and the other moderators of the show as well. Thanks for keeping the chat going. And honestly, you guys are fantastic. We do have other topics as I stall here. There's a new Xbox event, ID at Xbox Showcase, March 16th via Twitch Gaming. So this is Twitch Gaming, so expect it to be 5 hours long, and it should have probably only been 90 minutes long or less. They do this every time, so if you're complaining about tomorrow's show, it's tomorrow, right, D-Batch?
Yes,
Then bitch at Twitch because they are the ones, like last time, that are in charge of the show. They're going to be the ones with the dog shit announcers and the guys that don't know anything about the fucking games and all the fucking filler you don't want to hear. It's 100% Twitch. They're the ones who
Tell
are
us how you
deciding
really
how the
feel.
show goes. I'm just being honest. Like
5
I think
minute
you and I
bathroom breaks,
watched
too.
that last year, and we were melting into our chairs. They just milk it for so long.
Yeah,
they're
it
like,
did.
yeah,
It was-
let's, hey,
It
fuck
literally
it.
was like 3 hours plus last year. It was long.
Yeah, way too long. And that wasn't, again, that was, even Microsoft was like, that was not supposed to be, that was supposed to be a 90-minute show. But they turned it into multiple hours longer.
And,
Yeah,
and
they
temper,
just-
temper your expectations, because like, let's just be honest here. These are smaller titles, so some of them, sure, they'll be cool, and some might get a few new announcements, but they're smaller titles.
Why you
They're
got to
indie
kill
games at the
everyone's
end of the
hype,
day.
D-Batch?
I don't think
Well,
anybody
you-
expected
Well,
anything.
you know what? Most people know, but there's the odd one that's expecting something big tomorrow, and like, no, these are indie games.
The
like,
biggest,
enjoy it for what
What are
it
you
is.
talking about? A Kojima game exclusive for Xbox is announced here
Kojami?
tomorrow. Hey,
I think the biggest thing this
Jammy.
this week is going to be the state of play with the Harry Potter game. Finally, we're going to get like a massive, extensive gameplay demo on Thursday for it. And it's not, and everybody's like, it's a PlayStation. No, it's just PlayStation has the
it's-
advertisement
yeah.
for it.
No.
It's,
are
just,
they
it's
really
going to
saying
come out
it's a
to everywhere.
PlayStation exclusive?
Oh, some people are like, is this a PlayStation exclusive? I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, no,
You're
man,
a
it's Harry
toddler.
Potter.
You're a toddler. It's exclusive. That
Oh my
guy.
God.
I remember seeing the early.
Was it
footage
really
of that
him?
game.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah,
Oh,
they
was it
were
him?
bragging about dancing on the Xbox grave because the state of play was going to show Harry Potter like it was going to be exclusive.
Oh,
Look how
Yeah.
this shows how much I care. I still haven't seen those movies.
Either have I. I think you and I are the only ones on the whole internet that hasn't watched the Harry Potter.
I own them.
trash
I
bag.
own them in 4K just in case. I just haven't watched them all. I think I've.
You're okay.
Just in
They're
case
long.
what?
I don't know.
Your
maybe.
house caves in?
I don't know. Like someone that likes them comes over. You know.
Hey, do you have Harry Potter? He's like, actually, I
Come on
do.
in.
Chat, dealer will literally buy a game that he doesn't think he'll play just in case someone will come over and say, hey, do you have Burnout 3?
Hey, I got to support the developers, you heathen. Okay.
Do you have Butterfly
He's got
3?
like the Library of Congress on his console. He's got like every game ever made, just in case.
Please tell me you have Butterfly.
He's like, do you have Butterfly 2, Wings Revenge?
Oh my god. Stupid. Zalker, get these 3 super chats here real quick. Why get ready for the last?
We got Danny
thumbs up.
Passion officially. He says, I beat Elden Ring yesterday at level 178. The second run made the game much easier, as should be, but the game is a lot of fun. Yes, it is.
Quit cheating,
We got-
Danny.
Hey, damn.
We got Phase 23. Thoughts on FSR 2.0 leak, upscaling without AI or machine learning?
Yes. So I did see this. So this is basically going to be a competitor to DLSS without the AI. Now I don't know if they're going to have an alternative that does have AI, but behind the scenes they're saying that the image quality is a huge improvement over FSR, the original version, and this also will work on multiple GPUs, so different vendors' GPUs.
I can't wait for them not to use it on Xbox, D.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this iteration is going to be for the previous gen or for RDNA 3. We're not sure on that, but I think they're gonna have a demonstration on it on the 17th of March. So that's the day after tomorrow. So that's Thursday.
Lisa Sue gonna be there, D-Batch?
I have no idea, but I am
Hey,
excited. I am
D-Batch,
excited.
did you know
to see
Harry
this,
Potter's
man.
exclusive? Huh?
Also,
did you-
let me since we're talking about it is exclusive. What are you talking about? Listen, since we're on this topic real quick on PC stuff, I know we don't talk a lot about it on the show. There were some like credible leaks on the next generation graphic cards coming from both AMD and Nvidia, and these things are going to be packing a punch. And
to your wallet, yeah.
And from what we see from NVIDIA, man, like they have some at 600, 650 watt TDP, and there's even one saying 850.
These fucking things are gonna burn your house down, D.
That's just honestly tell you my opinion, the 850 watt one, I don't think that is necessarily going to be a real product. I think maybe that's a backup plan, because we're hearing that the chiplet design from AMD is going to be really powerful, and they might need to counter it with, pumping a lot of juice into one of their GPUs. I'm not quite sure, but 850 watts is incredible. The 650 watts pretty much is confirmed. So I think we are going to see some GPUs in the top end from NVIDIA that do offer that, and you're going to need a new PSU too. So next gen, if you think this gen was bad, next gen's going to be expensive, and if you want the top end, it's going to require you to get a new PSU at the.
It's going to run on gasoline.
I think so, man. I think so.
Comes with its own external generator, fucking out the window. You got to pull
Just
it.
revving it every time you want to start your computer.
Yeah, but it's getting ridiculous. 600 watts. That's nuts.
I got a couple more.
Go ahead.
We got Purple Haze. He says, I'm level 161, strength build. I've beaten every single secret boss except one. The hardest bosses I fought were Radon, F that guy, and Melania, Goddess of Rot. Radon is a jackass. Brisket says, finish Elden Ring in 20 hours, didn't die once.
At level 570, right?
Hey, there's a speed run under 20. So,
but that's using glitches, though.
That's using glitches, though.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
No,
Guides,
no
glitches, are all the same.
No, like he will literally he'll quit out and like glitch past like whole parts of the game and stuff.
Fonz told me he beat the game actually last night. He said that he was like level 150, and I was like, damn. And he's like, what level are you? I was like 108. He's like, damn, you really haven't grinded. And I was like, no, I didn't. so now he's like, I think you should, man. Some of the stuff is really hard.
Fonz played the game the normal way, and it took him over a week of playtime to beat the game and play it, explore whatever looks cool. Play the game, not just run through it, right? So it took him a week of playtime to beat that game at level 150, and shout out to Fonz. He'll be here next week. Anyway, is that the last one, Zucker?
Yeah, that's the last one I had.
You got Phase 23?
Yep, I did that one.
Shout out to him. Phase Brooklyn, New York 23, man. Shout out to you, man. Colt was telling me you're really an Xbox guy, and you come here and you love Xbox and stuff, man. And it's just kumbaya, brother. You know what I'm saying? Hell, Xbox. Let's go ahead and
stupid.
Let's go ahead and move forward. The Xbox Series X is the most complained about console. Did you guys see this stupid ass article?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what's going on with that.
Do they listen to the show about the DVR? Because they're not wrong.
Yeah, they're pissed about that DVR, Jason Ronald. Now, why they're complaining is because they can't fucking get one.
Fact.
I don't think that's what the complaints are.
What is it?
I think aren't they gauging complaints across social media and other outlets? But I mean, I'm on social media more than anyone. I have 100,000 tweets. Most people who are complaining about Xbox are PlayStation fans.
Oh shit.
Or some PC guys, right? Do you see this all the time? Like the big complaints are coming from people who don't want to play on an Xbox.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. First of all, I gotta be honest. There's not really much to complain about on both systems. They're like minor gripes. Like the PlayStation, I don't like the white shell, so I bought a black shell. It is kind of.
Did you complain on the internet about it though? And did they tally that towards a PlayStation complaint article?
I don't know. And the size of it is a legitimate complaint. The PlayStation 5 is freaking huge. The controller I find a little bit cheap feeling, but apart from that, I got no complaints on the PlayStation 5. The Xbox Series X, it works flawlessly. I have no issues on the Xbox Series X apart from DVR and like being able to share my stuff directly to YouTube or like stream from the console stuff that I think should be capable of on the Series X.
Software
But apart
issues,
from
yeah.
that, there's no real complaints to have on this system. Okay, they're not using all the software that we want them to use, whatever, yada yada.
And
But
that's
apart from
all like
finding-
that's all like a very minority group of people that care about the performance grade compared on Digital Foundry videos. Like, it's not a big number. And the other problem is we've been complaining about game DVR and stuff like that. But those things are not widely used. And to the credit of the discredit, I suppose, like Dealer and Rand have talked about this a lot. Like, Xbox is not hopping to with fixing the game DVR because we're not among a very large amount of people who are complaining about it, and it sucks.
I think it's got something to do with the purchase they made, but at the end of the day, like, people are mainly complaining about these consoles because they can't fucking get one. Like, that's number one.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
it's just it's just funny that there's an article about this, and shout out to Papa Bago. He said he sent it to me 100%, brother. I think I remember that. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. It's the most complained about console. The DVR stuff will get fixed. We're all bitching about it. I was also thinking, Jez Corden said something about a Blu-ray player recently, right? And I was like, I was thinking, like, how come Microsoft don't allow external 4K Blu-ray players to, the little square thing you plug in the USB through the port on a Series S and have access to a 4K Blu-ray player on your Series S if you wanted?
Where do you buy those?
You can buy them online.
How much are they?
Yeah.
$6.
Oh, that's a good price.
Pretty good price.
I mean, didn't they do that with like the HD, like with the
Yeah,
360?
yeah, but just
They had that external?
let any maker have them plug it in, right? Just like the cameras they do, right? You can take a webcam now. And plug
I
it in.
honestly, like, for me, I just don't think if Xbox doesn't want to put the money forward to that, because I just think it's going to be that's like niche. That's like I
But
think
there's
like
no
10 people are
money.
gonna
Like, it's
buy
just
it.
software. Like, hey, if you're
Well, no, because you need to make that
this requirement.
thing.
Oh, you mean like allowing a third?
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean like a third party?
Oh,
like
you guys have
Samsung
ears.
Blu-ray player.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying like a little thing, like they'll create one.
like
I
the
was
camera
what?
situation, right? You can
Guys
use the
have
4K
ears.
camera, 4K webcams, and plug it into your Xbox. Like, same thing for an external Blu-ray player.
Yeah, but
I
the
don't know, light
problem is
licensing?
the physical media is just kind of really phasing out.
I'm tired of these excuses, you damn Xbots. I'm getting sick and tired of it. Like,
I
I
just
think
think
it's a good idea.
honestly, I think that's what it is. I think
I
it's
kind
they
of feel
don't-
like
they
the
don't care.
industry kind of. I feel like maybe I'm talking about on my rear end, but maybe the industry's kind of like, we're done with physical media, and if we can just kind of let people forget about it and just stream and download, like, we'll be
It's-
much better.
Look,
I mean,
shout out to all
but-
all the people in the chat that understand how much better the bit rate is of a 4K
It
Blu-ray
is.
Yeah,
over
it
damn
is. It
streaming.
is.
Like, there's people
It is.
out there
It's a lot
that
better.
just give them the option, like an external 4K Blu-ray player, like you can buy on the PC, plug it into a USB port, and go. Why not on the console? Like, it's just software. It's just something to consider. It's nothing to rally about, but it's just an idea. Like, solve a problem. Some people want a disk drive for their Series S for movies, and they don't have one. So, it's just one way to solve a problem.
I just don't think anybody's making like. I mean, like, how many people are still making like 4K Blu-ray players? Like,
Oh,
I
they
just
make
don't.
them,
thi-
they make them.
I mean, I get that they make them, but like, it's like kind of like what Pachter said, right? Like, he's like, that stuff's like gone almost. Like, it's just.
You
not gonna
damn
be there.
Xbox!
I'm just saying, man. I'm sorry. Like, dude, almost 50%.
This
of Elden
Zucker's
Ring
sitting
sales
there with a Series
like
X with a
Elden Ring.
drive in it. You know,
Like the Elden Ring's 50% of Elden Ring sales was PC, which is like almost exclusively digital. So it's like that is like insane. Like, that's how many people have just gone to straight digital. Like, I just don't. I haven't bought a 4K Blu-ray thing in like 5-6 years.
I will say, though,
Fonz has a badass Blu-ray player too. He's bragging in the chat. Look at him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
to add to,
He's
add to
in
what
here.
Tim was saying though, physical Blu-ray, just the quality is just so much. It's so superior to streaming. It's not even close. Especially you got a nice 4K TV. The image is cleaner. You got less dithering. Like there's more information there. So it's just a better image.
It is.
So I'm for physical media still, for like Blu-rays. I still buy my stuff, and I've done comparisons where I've like compared it on Netflix, and I've compared it to like the actual Blu-ray itself, and the quality doesn't even come close. I think we're just so used to streaming, and it's like it's not a bad image quality, so it's acceptable to people. And if unless they see it side by side to actually see the difference, they don't notice, right?
Pull the chat. Like, I'd like to know what the chat's doing with that, because
Well, we know what the chat's doing. We got to give shout out to almost 1,200 people watching, guys. Hit the like button. Tell a buddy too about the show. Let's try to get closer to 1,000 people or 1,000 likes on the show. We do appreciate it, guys. But physical media, digital media, the one that's the most accessible wins every time. And obviously, a Netflix app don't cost you nothing to download. So I don't think it'll be a race there. I just think that it would be a cool thing that they could do, like the 4K webcam situation. Plug it in and go, right? Because you can still get a Blu-ray app. You got to use the app on your console still. You can still download on the Series S. There's just no player. And I was like, man, how could you solve that? That's one way, but whatever. It's just kind of a niche thing, 100%, but would be cool to see. Yeah, so Series X sucks, is the most complained about console ever, according to this article. Also, don't forget the Game Pass games. Crusader Kings, is that going to be in there, Zucker?
Yeah, that's coming to console too. It's actually a strategy game. People should check it out.
I think it's already on console.
I'm saying Game Pass console. Sorry, like you know they have that like console, PC, blah blah blah. It's been on the PC Game Pass for I think a little while now. And everybody, I remember it was like 2 months ago, wasn't it? Everybody was like Crusader Kings, oh my god, blah, and I was like,
it's so good.
I was like, this game's been out for like 2 years now. Everybody's talking about it because that Game Pass effect.
Yeah.
So yeah, check it out. It's on console now too. So strategy games, man. Yes, Xbox is really making a push for strategy games. There are so many on Game Pass. It's insane. Like those are like something they're focusing.
About time.
What's up?
About time. I'm so happy for it as well.
Oh, same here, man. Like
they're pushing that strategy.
And Total War 3's on there for Game Pass PC, and I that game was so much fun. But once Elden Ring came out, I just stopped playing everything except that. So hopefully it stays on there long enough for me to jump back in, which I think it will.
Hey, Shredders, is that Game Pass PC as well, or just console?
I have no idea.
You know, D-Batch, just boot it up on your console, okay? It's gonna look the same.
He's like, hey!
It's gonna look the same, D-Batch. It's a snowboarding game. The graphics on it are better than I thought they would be. Again, I don't remember when the NDA is. In the email, I didn't fully read it all, but I did play it. I don't know what I can really say, but just try it out. It's going to be on Game Pass, guys, and let us know your thoughts on, have any of you played Guardians of the Galaxy since it went to Game Pass? If you haven't booted this game up and played it, like, yeah, fucking
started
play
it.
It's really good, man.
It's
Just
such
for
a
the
good game.
story alone, man, it's worth it. And it's, you know what? It's good eye candy, man. For your Series X, it's definitely eye candy.
Mm-hmm. And it's another
D
game.
Shredders is coming to PC, by the way.
It's coming to cloud and PC and the Xbox Series
I'm
S
only
and
streaming it. Fuck y'all. Because I don't do physical hardware. That's the next argument. Anyway, Pongsol, you got anything else you want to add to this whole shebang? Everything combined. Xbox has no games.
Yeah, Xbox sucks.
All right.
Dead.
All right,
It's over with. Buried. So, moving on. When is your PlayStation channel starting? Come on, dealer.
PlayStation ready?
Yeah.
Shout out to these corporate channels that don't even play the fucking consoles. They're like, I got an Xbox ready channel. Oh, also, we got a PlayStation one too. Like, you don't play either. Like, fuck. Anyway, hey, let us know where people can find you, Cody Eastwood. It's been a good show. We had almost 1,200 people tonight. Obviously, everyone listening, guys, let us know your feedback. Follow everyone here. Hit the like button. Tell everybody too about the channel. Check out all the links, and do all that shit. Play some games. Colt, where can people find you, and what have you been playing, man? It was great having you on the show. Thanks for filling in for the one and only sleeping at E3 Tim Dog.
Yeah, I mean, what a call to action that is. Play one game, whatever. You make macaroni and cheese, just do it. Yeah. You'll find me dying in Elden Ring on Xbox and on Twitter and YouTube at Colt Eastwood. Yeah, thanks, guys. It's good to be back here. It's always good. We're talking every day on the party chat, but it's good to do it when there's a few people listening. It's amazing. But shout out to the chat.
Yeah, shout out to the chat. And seriously, guys, it's a great time to be a gamer. Like we say Xbox has no games. If you watch the show, you know we're kidding, obviously. Tons of games to play. It's a great time to be a gamer. The best hardware ever with literally almost no bottlenecks in it for the first time ever in console gaming. games are more accessible than they've ever been at such a low price. And it's just, you couldn't ask for much better right now, guys. So let us know what you're playing and all that good stuff. Shout out to Fonz. He's been in the chat. He'll be back next week. We miss him. And obviously, shout out to everyone giving away copies of games, all the channel members and all that stuff. But Colt, thanks for joining us, man. You jumped in last second. Appreciate you, man. D-Batch, tell people where they can find you and what have you been playing, brother?
You can find me on Twitter, D_Batch. My people in Canada, tonight it looks like Walmart will be dropping some PlayStation 5, so look out for that. You can find me on YouTube at D-Batch. I'm playing WWE 2K22, and I mentioned at the top of the show that there were some issues with online. So on PC, if you're unable to connect online or if it's just crashing on you and you download any community creations, just delete them all. Keep your save file in case you did the showcase so you don't lose all of that stuff. Delete all of those items and then restart the game, and it should work correctly. I'm also going to assume that this is the case on the consoles, because consoles on my Xbox Series X, I cannot connect online. So I'm going to delete my created characters and see if that fixes the problem. And by the way, once you delete your created characters, you can go and download them again and it works. It looks like some type of corruption. And I did notice one thing. If a lot of people are asking what system should they get it for, get it wherever your friends are playing. I noticed that PC, it looks the best on PC, obviously. It looks pretty much the same as the Xbox Series X, maybe a tiny bit better aliasing. Out of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, it is playing better on the Xbox Series X. The PlayStation 5, for some reason, it gets a lot of dips under 60, where the Xbox Series X is just running straight at 60, as well as the Series S. So that's something to look out for. Hopefully they'll patch the game. I think it's a great game. It's a lot of fun. It looks better than any WWE game that's ever been made, and it plays better than 20 and 2K19. So apart from the patches that they got to put out, it is a good game. It was a great show. Thanks for coming on, Pong, Colt, Zocker. It was great talking with you all. See you guys next week.
How many sweaty wrestler nipples out of 10 would you give it?
I would give it a 9 sweaty nipples out of 10.
That's a lot of nipples, man. Shout out to D-Batch. Check out
who's
D-Batch's.
missing a nipple?
They're tessellated.
Somebody's missing a nipple.
Almost out of 5 people.
Somebody got
someone's
3
missing
nipples, or somebody's missing
somebody
one.
got. Oh yeah, I forgot about the extra nipples.
Yeah. You got to really expand your mind, bitch. Where people can find you at, Zalker, and what you been playing?
Oh, look at that, skipping it up. Yeah, I'm at Twitter Zalker87, YouTube Zalker87, and I've been playing nothing but Elden Ring. Actually, over the weekend I played Sea of Thieves with my buddies because they brought out some new content with some new forts and some cool stuff, Pirate Legend stuff, and it was a lot of fun. So we did that. Grieved some people, which was always my good time in my book, and then Elden Ring again. So yeah, just check it out on Xbox, man. Trust me, it's probably one of my favorite games of all time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Glad to be here. Everybody at the chat's awesome. The chat has always been like you said, man, they energize us. We have a good time every single week. And Colt, thanks for coming on, man. Felt like old times, obviously. You us cussing and then you going like, geez, oh God. Like, I'm so scared. He is. He's like, oh God, fuck. So yeah. Thanks, guys.
Drop the F-bomb when I'm scared.
Drop the F-bomb randomly.
Oh shit. Obviously we're kidding, Colty.
Yeah.
And Coulter.
And Coulter.
Hey, Pong Soul, buddy, tell people where they can find you, man. Thanks for filling in for one malaria-ridden Fonzarelli. He'll be back next week. And obviously, tell us where they can find you, man, and where you've been playing, brother.
Absolutely. Awesome show. Thank you, brothers, again for the invite. Always love coming on here. Colt, it was great being on a show with you as well, sir. Shout out to Fonz. Keep getting better, brother, and get back on here.
Yeah,
but otherwise, I've been playing Elden Ring, a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy, and still rocking Cyberpunk 2077. So that's what I've been, obviously NBA 2K22 as well. Thank you for that sound effect. Anyways, you guys can find me, Pog Soul, Xbox, Twitter, you know the drill there. I'll give you the short version of my rundown of shows. Thursday nights, PM in the PM. That's right. Get your sleeping bags on and get your footy pajamas on. It's time to go to sleepy.
He wears an Xbox onesie, Pong.
Oh, he wears a onesie? Nice. Yep. I like it. All right. So PM in the PM, Thursday nights over on Fun Speculations channel. Pong and Mav in the PM, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time. Friday nights back over on Fun Speculations channel for obviously Xbox Ultimate. That starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time. Saturday mornings, living split screen. Myself, my brother from another Steel, Rain, and I. Look, we're going to wake you up 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. Be there 3+ hours. Buckle up for that show. Then Saturday night's the Shop Podcast over on PTK Blam's channel. And then Tuesdays back at it on Xbox Factor Podcast. Of course, Double Barrel Gaming, Mr. Boomstick himself. That is 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. Otherwise, it is the golden age of gaming. People enjoy this time. Like Dealer said, no better time in history to be playing games than right now. So play what you love what you play, and I'll talk to you all real soon.
I want you to do your next podcast, Pong, since you're waking everybody up, right?
Yep.
You need to do a bedtime podcast about gaming. We're putting y'all to sleep. Tune in, bitch. You know, shout out to everybody that, again, watches. And
Rand's going to be on there?
That reminds me, I got a lot of DMs from a lot of people about doing a lot of podcasts, and it's a lot. And I mean that. So I haven't gotten back to a lot of people. I know, like Boxing Burger DM me. I saw the intro to it. I didn't click on it because I was in the middle of something and I just forgot. I know Boom messaged me. I know there's a lot of people message me, but just don't take it personally. I'm going to try to get back to you guys. And everyone, again, you know, there's so many shows and so many things going on. Just shout out to everybody. I want to get Psychonauts on the show too, Punk. So if you talk to him, because he hides offline all the time now, let him know. Let him know
right.
that, you know, I want to have him on too. He's an awesome guy. And
Absolutely.
yeah, it was a great show. Shout out to everybody who watched this, guys. Hit the like button, tell a buddy or two about the show. Zalker, we got a few super chats. You want to grab these? And, you know what I'm saying?
God damn you, son, bitch.
Go ahead.
We got Hargeet says 4K Blu-ray is still better than streaming. Most video files do physical media. Games are the same physical or digital, not the same with movies. Audio and video is better on physical. Hargeet also said that physical also sucks ass. Thanks, Hargeet. He didn't say that. Forsaken Chief says several USB Blu-ray drives on Amazon ranging from $85 to $150, all with free shipping. Streaming is nice, but I do prefer physical discs for my collection.
Shout out to Forsaken Chief.
We got the last one. Don't forget to check out Honest Game Trailers. New take on Elden Ring, starring dying and crying and missing hits while on a horse, among others.
All right. Well, appreciate it.
All right,
Appreciate everybody.
Glad you're dying.
Check out the links down below. Shout out to the patrons. Check that link out down below. Channel members, all that good stuff. Support all these guys. And we're going to go die in Elden Ring. We'll see you later.
Later, everybody.